What happened when the other woman was planning your wedding? When did you realize you were the other woman? My fiance Vincent had been acting weird about our wedding planner for months, and I'd finally had enough of the tension. We'd hired Sierra 6 months ago after meeting her at a bridal expo where she seemed perfect. She had this amazing portfolio and references that made other planners look amateur. Vincent said he felt comfortable with her right away, which should have been my first red flag. At first, everything seemed normal with Sierra coming to our apartment for planning sessions. She'd spread out fabric samples and venue photos while taking detailed notes about our vision. But then I noticed Vincent started scheduling meetings with her when I was at work. He said they were visiting venues and tasting cakes, but never brought back samples or photos. When I asked to see what they picked, he'd get defensive, saying he wanted some things to be surprises. 3 months before the wedding, Sierra started acting strange around me too. She'd barely make eye contact during our meetings and kept cutting conversations short. Vincent explained she was stressed because another bride was being difficult, but something felt wrong. The wedding dress shopping was when things got really weird because Sierra said she couldn't make it to any appointments. A wedding planner who skips dress shopping seemed suspicious even to my mom. That Thursday, I left work early with a migraine and decided to stop by Sierra's office. I wanted to drop off the invitation samples we'd finally chosen and maybe clear the air about whatever was bothering her. The receptionist said Sierra was in a meeting, but I could wait in the consultation room. As I sat there, I heard Sierra's voice from the next room and she was laughing about something. A woman came out looking frustrated and holding a wedding binder. She sat next to me and started venting immediately about her consultation. Can you believe she suggested I change my date? Like May 15th isn't good enough. My whole body went cold because May 15th was my wedding date. I asked her what venue Sierra recommended and she named the botanical gardens we booked. The woman kept talking about how Sierra said the date and venue were tentatively held for another client who might cancel. My hands started shaking as I realized what was happening. This bride was basically being offered my wedding if I backed out. The door opened and Sierra walked out with Vincent right behind her. They were holding hands and he was kissing her cheek when they saw me. Everyone froze like some horrible movie scene where time stops. The other bride looked between all of us and her eyes went wide with understanding. Vincent dropped Sierra's hand and started toward me, but I backed away. Sierra grabbed his arm and whispered something, but he shook her off. Taylor, this isn't what it looks like, he said, but his voice cracked. Really? Because it looks like you're dating our wedding planner? I said. The other bride stood up and pointed at Sierra. Wait, is this why you wanted me to change my date? So you could have it? Sierra's face went red and she started denying everything, but the pieces were falling into place. The other bride introduced herself as Mina and said she'd hired Sierra 2 months ago. Sierra had been pushing her toward the same venues and vendors we'd already booked. Mina pulled out her phone and showed me text messages from Sierra. They were almost identical to ones she'd sent me about Vincent having great taste and being so involved. Sierra had been playing matchmaker with her clients and then stealing the men she liked. Mina's fiance had mentioned Sierra calling him about concerns that Mina might not be ready for marriage. I looked at Vincent, who was trying to explain, but nothing he said made sense. He claimed it just happened and they tried to fight the attraction. Sierra stood there crying and saying she never meant to hurt anyone. Mina called her fiance right there and told him to meet us immediately. When Mina's fiance arrived, Sierra tried to run, but we blocked the door. He took one look at the situation and figured it out immediately. Turns out Sierra had been texting him too and suggesting they get coffee to discuss Mina's wedding jitters. He thought it was inappropriate but hadn't told Mina yet. Vincent tried to follow me when I left, but I told him the wedding was off. He could have Sierra plan whatever fake wedding she wanted, but I was done. Mina left with her fiance and we exchanged numbers in the parking lot. She called me the next day and we met for wine to compare stories. Now, we discovered Sierra had done this to at least 3 other couples. She'd target the grooms during planning and create drama between couples. Mina found reviews online from brides who'd fired Sierra for crossing boundaries. We left our own detailed reviews warning future brides about her behavior. I kept some deposits but considered it worth the price of dodging Vincent. Mina still got married but with a different planner who kept professional boundaries. We're actually friends now and joke about our terrible taste in wedding planners. Sierra's business tanked after our reviews and Vincent is probably still chasing women who plan his dates. Sometimes the other woman saves you from making the biggest mistake of your life.